afternoon, everyone. I'm Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host, and welcome to Artists of Color. This afternoon, we are going to have a great show because a couple of weeks ago, on the 16th of March, I went to an opening called, I believe it's called, Where Are All the Black People At? And it was an art show on photography, and a gentleman that I will be introducing to you very shortly, and another young lady who is also a photographer, both photographers, they are putting together with the city to have black photography in all of the bus stops that we have around our community and around Boston. So today I want to have a conversation with Jay. Her name is JayPix, but we're going to call her Jay, and Archy LaSalle. Both are photographers. And we are going to talk about this project that you have called Where Are All the Black People At? And Archy, I want you to begin. Tell us what this project is about.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me here and having us here. This project is a collaboration between Greater Grove Hall, Main Streets, and Ed Gaskin is the executive director. And Ed got in touch with me about early August and asked would I be interested in a project around the bus shelters. And I said, oh, absolutely, not knowing what it was going to be about. And I said, what does it entail? And he said, well, a group of photographers having their work throughout Grove Hall. And I was just so excited. I started gathering up all of the photographers that I could. I wish I could have had more photographers to have images up as well, but not knowing how long it would take to get all of the images up and all of the details. And so finally I got more information, and we have 9 photographers total, which is amazing. It's any work that they choose to put up throughout the city. And what this does, it shows that we have a varied interest in photography. Some is around sports, some is around hip hop, some is around still lives. Mine is about a project that I'm doing out in Lancaster with women farmers, the World's Farmers Association. So that's what my project is about.
Okay. We found some of your shows, some of your art.
Wow.
Yes.
Look at that.
That is beautiful.
That is really, were you able to get the group?
On that.
Ah. And so JayPix is one of the first photographers that I contacted. And JayPix was just so excited, and we have a good chemistry going back and forth, I think, you know?
Yeah.
And we work well on a lot of different projects, you know?
Great.
So I'm gonna turn it over to JayPix, and you can tell them how.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Elaine, again for having us here. I think this is a special place to be and to talk about art. My name is JayPix Belmer. I am a non-binary individual. I'm very flexible, not ladylike, but I am a pure sister for sure. And I will say that this project has been just amazing being around all the photographers. I think the event that Elaine mentioned was us gathering around where are all the black people at, and celebrating our greatness and getting to know each other. We never crossed paths much, but seeing each other's work really just, ignited a spark in us, I think, and we should do more of that. The project, My Bus Stop Shelter, I had an image called No Face, No Place. And it was shot in 2010, so it's a special one because it's around where I started to really get into my studio work, but also I coined hip hop as how I photograph helps other people, which was kind of a real representation of being able to introduce yourself in Boston and get to know the next person and really get to know who you are, finding your purpose in yourself. So that image was really, really excited to see on the bus stop. And with the Where Are the Black People at, it was great to have it because 2 years ago, I was shooting around with my Bird Street project. Bird Street is building individuals reconstructing Dorchester. And it's really about the authenticity of the people and making sure that we can preserve and celebrate the legacy of our communities and neighborhoods. And You, Me, We, with a friend Marlon Forrester, was about puncturing these institutional spaces with people like myself, more visuals, more community that was inside, being able to show inside of these institutional spaces. So the bus stop project really brought that to life. It was my second institutional project where I got to put my images on public, I would say, public areas and in public space, which is a really good feeling.
Jay, tell me, how
Yes.
long have you been a photographer?
I've been a photographer for, I would say, more than 16 years. I've been shooting for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you shoot, what do you, I'm listening to you talk about community and community spaces. What is your passion for what you do? In other words, as far as community is concerned, what do you want to see from the work that both you and Archie are doing?
Well, Where Are the Black People At really brings us together as Black photographers. And with the community, I want to see more of us visible in safe spaces, on ads, in storefront windows, with photography or art that represents our assets, because we are the assets of the community in the neighborhoods. So I think we could be represented a little bit more, a lot more actually, and that makes us feel like we belong, with all the changes and transitioning happening now.
Yes.
It really makes us feel like we belong when we can see ourselves. The next generation will see us and they can see themselves. They can feel like there's something good happening, and that there's a future to look forward to.
What is your take on that, Archie?
Well, I think it's extremely important that everyone reach back and tap into the youth, not only in our city, but wherever life takes us. We have to invest and do a collaboration with the youth. And a lot of people think of it as being a mentor. It could be that, but I see it as a collaboration. We all learn from one another.
True.
We all learn from one another.
Yeah.
And that's my approach to it. And so one of the things when I was an art student at Mass College of Art, number one, there was very few Black or brown professors.
Yes.
Number two, there was not many Black and brown students. And today, it's fewer Black and brown students than it was in 1978 when I was a student. Now, they say we have more students of color. Well, that means everybody that's not white.
True.
But when it comes to Black people, it's fewer. And I find that to be sort of ironic, to be an institution, a school that's technically is in Roxbury.
Exactly.
Okay? And the second part of it is still today there's very few Black and brown professors, very few Black and brown artists. So it was my goal when I was teaching at Cambridge Rindge in Latin to make sure that my students know that there's greatness amongst us. Even when it comes to the point where so many institutions think that Black and brown people only make art about their culture, and that is not true. Some of us do, some of us don't. Okay, and I don't think anybody should be limited by others trying to say you should do X, Y, and Z. Follow your own passion, follow your own roots where you want to go, where you want to lay down some roots, and do your artwork. And so I think that as an educator, as an activist, I definitely want to do that, because I think when young children go to museums, they need to see people that look like them on the wall.
Yes.
They need to see work that reflects not only them, but a whole wide array of artwork. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's how I feel about it.
Indeed, I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's interesting that this conversation's coming together like it is, because in doing a little research on the project, and I was read some of what you had to say, and what I found that the not the phrase, but yeah, actually the phrase that you talked about, our art not being just there for a moment, but being there for the long term, so that when our young people, from our little ones up, come into museums, the big institutional museums, that they come into them and they can come and see our work, us. They can see people that, they can see their faces, their culture. They can know that, hey, it's here today, and oh, I'll bring my friends, you know, maybe in a few days or maybe even a week.
Yeah.
But they can know that that particular exhibit's going to be there for a long haul, not for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important.
It is. It really is. I started Artists of Color back in 2006. I'm still doing it. But I do it for that reason, because we have a voice, and I think that our voice should be as everybody else's voice is.
So like, for me, shows and exhibits are wonderful,
Right.
but it's a permanent collection.
Collection.
That's where we're all the
going.
Black people at. That
Yeah.
is the foundation. That is the heart of that. That is paramount. Where all the Black people at? Because, and the other side of that is we're in plain sight, and everybody knows we're in plain sight. You know, and so working with museums, art institutions, making sure that we have more Black and brown artists in the permanent collection, not just a one-off,
Right.
but a portfolio. I mean, one of the things that I did starting in 1978, as I look at one of the photographs up here of Dover Station, I went out and started photographing the Orange Line from Chinatown all the way to Forest Hills, the old subway and the building of the new subway, which moved, I guess, 4 blocks sort of north.
Yes.
It went from
the
I guess, Back Bay
Station.
Station, and then connected out to the end of the line. And so it's important that we document our community as well as doing other jobs that we get the spirit to do. In other words, you can do several things at one time.
Yes.
JayPix, hip hop, beautiful hip hop
See?
work, you know, just
Yeah.
absolutely stunning.
I love the hip hop portraits, especially because I still see people now that I've shot in the past, and they feel good about the images, they own them, and so I think that's important, is building confidence in who you are. From the youth too, how can I help them build confidence in who they want to become, and let them know that it's okay to be outstanding,
That's
and.
true.
I think that's what we need, more people that are encouraging folks and the youth to be more outstanding in their beliefs, and find a purpose in something that you love, and find a mentor, even if you think that you want to get to know something or learn about something. Those things have helped me along the way, and that's why I love documenting the community that I live in, because it's always changing, and to be seen in the institutional spaces lets us know that we're here and that we belong.
Wow.
Well, I also, where are all the Black people at? We work closely with museums and art institutions in a way
okay.
of helping them not only change their board, but helping them introduce them to younger artists so they can be a part of their collection. And in all phases, we need Black and brown people involved. We need them at the table. And that brings me to Michael J. Bobbitt, who is the head of the executive director of the Mass Cultural Council.
Yes.
Michael Bobbitt has done so much in a year to help all citizens of Massachusetts. I mean, in this last round of recovery grants, there was 98% of the people that got grants had never received a grant before. I am one of those people.
I am one of those people.
Okay, and I've
So-
been in Massachusetts since 1966. And also, there's 42% people, BIPOC, I would say, from the BIPOC community that received grants. It has never been that high before, ever, ever. So my hat is off to Michael J. Bobbitt and all of the members of his board and the team that he works with, because this has never happened before, ever. And so I look at that. I also look at the work that Ganeet Ancori is doing out at the Rose. She has exhibitions throughout the year of trans, Black and brown artists, white artists. I mean, you name it. It feels like this is the way the world is. This is the way the world should be. Not calling on Black and brown people in the month of February. We are so
That's
tired of
true.
that. It is
That is very true.
insulting. And I also take the Fitchburg Art Museum. Nick Capasso is doing the same thing at that museum as Ganeet is doing at the Rose. I mean, there is Lauren Zunita is one of the curators there. We have a Black artist residency out at the Fitchburg Art Museum. Dale Hamilton is curating that particular show, and it has 4 seasoned artists, and then there's 4 younger artists from the Fitchburg, Western Massachusetts area. So we reach out. We're not just working with the same people all the time. You know, so.
Where is the Rose, or is the Rose a museum?
The Rose Art Museum. The Rose Art Museum is in Waltham. It's a part of Brandeis University.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Beautiful place.
Oh,
I'm on the board at the Rose. I'm also on the collection committee.
Okay.
And I think it's important to be there. And at some point, I definitely want to put JayPix work up to be part of that collection, because I think it's important.
Well, I saw Lyle Ashton Harris's show there right now,
Right,
and it's a
right.
really good one.
Right.
It's a really strong one.
Right.
You know, so the Rose Art Museum is a special place, and they always have some really great exhibits, personal ones too. The last one I also liked was the Frida Kahlo one, which is really very well done. And so I encourage people to visit the Rose Art Museum to see that Lyle Ashton Harris show.
okay.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
oh, so I also wanted to say I have a call because I want to call on more women photographers. You know, where are you? I think that, you know, I want to see you. I love photographers, and more women photographers is going to be the thing. You know, I think we are community people, and we will win. I wanted
That's
to say
true.
that.
Well,
that is true.
Since you said that, I remember I called on you to give me a whole list of photographers, and you know a lot of people, but they just didn't step forward, and that was
Well,
really,
it's about our due diligence and making sure these people feel like they can come to us. I feel like Boston is it's a weird place, but we have to start communicating about our crafts more
There
and
you
our
go.
skills and how we can maybe possibly help each other tell each other's story. I think that's important, you know, as a storyteller. Those are, I just want to see more women photographers step up, and also I want to gather with you. I want to join you, and I want you to come over to where all the Black people at.
yes.
Now that exhibit is up until, what is it, the 2nd of April?
The 2nd of April.
The 2nd of April.
And
And
I want to, it's up until the 2nd of April, but I was able to get the company to give me all 23 of those images. And what I want to do is to raise funds to be able to frame them and then have them be around different institutions within Grove Hall, Roxbury,
Yes.
the library, Step Rocks, where we had the
Where you had the
exhibit.
exhibit,
Okay,
yes.
the Boys and Girls Club. Just keep them rotating around.
Yep.
And
Freedom
so-
House.
Freedom
Yes.
House, you
Yes.
name it. That's what we want to do because it took some persuasion on my part to get them to commit to give me the images because normally they would just trash
Trash 'em.
them.
Oh, wow.
Throw them right in the truck.
Because the bus stop shelters, I mean, if you wanted to lease something there or rent something there, I mean, it's costs thousands and thousands
Thousands
of
of-
dollars when
I
you
figured it
have
did.
places like Nike, T-Mobile, or some other ad. They pay big bucks for that. And that's one of the things, those companies are wonderful companies, but they take things out of the community. I
don't
want to
keep-
know what
they
do they
don't
put into the
community.
community, okay?
I agree with
And
you.
so by us having this opportunity to show our work throughout Grove Hall and Roxbury is a wonderful opportunity, and I want to thank them. And I also want to
Yes.
thank Ed
Ed,
Gaston
he's done
and,
the
Ed
and
Gaston.
Jackie Williams,
Yes.
who is one
Yeah,
of
and
Ed's.
Jackie Williams, she was with us the whole time, you know, choosing space.
Jackie is well,
Oh, Jackie.
yes, Jackie.
I forgot about Jackie.
Oh,
yes,
can't
Jack-
forget about
I cannot
Jackie. Jackie,
forget
we're
about
sorry.
Jackie. Yes. Yeah, matter of fact, Jackie and I are going to have a conversation. That's
Yes,
right.
yes. Jackie works really hard, and the staff at Step Rock, where we had
Yes.
had the event, there is Loretta, who is unbelievable.
Lorraine.
Lorraine is here.
Lorraine Barton. She's
There
an
is-
old friend of mine.
There is Jeannie, and then there is Caitlin. I mean, those 4 individuals just really made us feel at home from day
Well, then
one
that's
when we went
great.
there, you know?
That's great. I know I was sitting there in the conference room having a little munchie, and I was looking at all of the, as they rotated on the screen, and I was like very excited and very, wow, you know, you all are, I love the images.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
images are
thank you.
absolutely
Me too.
beautiful. And you're talking about not just being, you know, not, we're of color, and these artists, these photographers are black and brown people, but their passion is what they do, so they go around to different areas and they photograph different images, and that's what they bring to the table, and that's what should be happening. And I agree with that, but my passion is my black and brown artists, because
Yes.
they
Thank
are
you for
my
having
passion,
us here.
which is
Yes.
what I do. You know, that's what I want to see happen. And for this project, the bus stop project, to be in the bus stops in our community is absolutely.
It is.
It feels really
Phenomenal.
good. I've never had an image on the bus stop
On the bus stop.
or
Now,
on
see,
anything
I
aside
gotta
of a
go
store
up and
window.
down- I gotta go up and down Blue Avenue, I guess, and
There's
Lawrence Street,
there's
because I haven't seen them yet.
Go see it.
you have to see them also at night.
Yes.
Seeing
Oh,
them at
really?
night.
Craig
oh,
Bailey's is amazing at night.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go see.
Let me give you the list of photographers. I have this right here.
He's
There is
He brought me-
JayPix as the number 1. Craig Bailey, who I call Dr. Bailey. There is Lou Jones, veteran photographer. George Anas Jr. I'm working on another project with George. There is Arnie Cheatham, great
my
photographer,
uncle.
saxophonist. There's Jules Silioport, great young photographer. Harry Scales, an amazing photographer. Morocco Flowers out in Western Massachusetts, Springfield to be exact. An amazing artist as well. And yours truly, Archy
Archy
LaSalle.
yes, yours truly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I would love to take that group of photographers and even more as I said earlier, downstairs,
woman.
and get a project and go around the city
Yes.
of Boston and photograph families,
I
whomever
like that idea.
whoever consider themselves family. If
Family.
it's just you and your cat, if that's your family, we want to
I like
photograph
that.
you.
If it's
Okay?
just you and your cat. I
And-
love
okay?
that.
And it's open to everybody, any and all that consider themselves family. If it's you and your plants, we want to do it. And these photographers, this list of photographers here, they can do that, right?
Indeed, yes. We love community, and I personally love
community,
photographing
so
people.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
I would love for you all to do that, but I'd like to work in collaboration with you in filming that as you
Yes.
all are filming that.
Yes.
that would be
yes,
great.
That would be a
yes,
beautiful thing
yes,
to do.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have to make this work.
Yeah, we
Mayor
do.
Wu, we're coming to ask for your support to help us with this project. Ed Gaston, Greater Grove Hall, Main Street,
Streets,
we're
yep.
coming to ask for your help. Michael Bobbitt, we're coming to ask for the Mass Cultural Council help.
There you
and I
go.
can get the photographers together. We
Then
will
we-
have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And really make this city like shine, really shine.
Yeah, it's
Community
shining, you know, but the people, right? The people is going to shine. And I
Yes.
think the insides of the souls will be able to ignite the communities and neighborhoods that we live in.
Yes, yes.
I agree with that. And I just thought of something because you're talking about wanting to film family, whoever family is to that particular person. Yes, I'm going to put this out there. Boston Arts, Music, and Soul Festival is coming the 23rd, the 24th, and I believe the 25th of June. They are going to be in Franklin Park. It's at the Playstead part of Franklin Park. And it is, this program, this organization was founded by another friend of mine. Her name is, there you go. Her name is
Bam.
Catherine T. Morris. Bam.
Great.
This is where you need to be. Pick a day, or take all 3 days, and you all need to come out and talk about filming and taking pictures of family. We need, you all need to, we can work on this, because I know her.
All right, all right.
I can put you together with her.
You can do that. Send me the info,
I will do
and I
that.
will distribute it to everyone.
There you go.
Send it to JayPix. We will distribute it to everyone.
Yeah.
And we will gather these images, and we will
That'll
put
be a
something
fun day in the
together.
park.
Why
A
not?
couple of days. We'll
Yeah,
pick one
they-
day and get as many
That's
photographers
right.
as
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah, this is the first time she's doing it's always been a one-day event every year. This year she got 3 days.
So you got my contact information.
You know, I got it right. Sure.
Okay, all
Yes.
right.
I noticed my grandson. But that's okay. Yes.
Thank you, Elaine.
This is like a collaboration, even though it's an interview. Because, yes.
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is.
Because, you know, we're talking about connection.
Yes.
And we're
We're
talking about
building
community.
in community.
Yes.
And that's important, because that's my passion.
Yes,
My passion
yes,
has always been
Yes,
community.
Yes, yes.
You know?
Me too.
My mom, she always tells me, she told me at my age, she very nicely told me, "You're a hood rat." I said, "A what?"
Excuse me.
I'm like, huh? Mom, okay, whatever. But she said this, and I'm saying, as we sit here and we talk about community, and I'm a first-generation Bostonian,
Yeah.
and I say, I guess maybe I am a hood rat, because my community is important to me, and everything that goes on in it, artistically and culturally, is important to me. And I want us to see us come together. I want us to be able to make our community a community. And we need our black and brown artists and artistic folks
Yes.
to be part of that community
Indeed.
so that we can pass it on to our young ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important that when visitors come to Boston
Yes.
and go to these
It's
art
different.
institutions, that they see our work in the
Work.
permanent collection. And it's up to all of us to talk to the members of the board at the MFA, at the ICA, at the Isabella Stewart Gardner, the Rose, the Fitchburg Art Museum, the Worcester Art Museum, and the historical societies. They all should be collecting our work. They
agree.
should.
I agree.
And it's
Even the libraries too.
even the
Yep,
libraries.
the libraries.
Well, the thing of it is,
I love the libraries.
Oh,
Shout
I
out
do
to
too.
Upham's Corner Library.
the
haven't
thing of
been
it
in that
is,
one yet.
they get federal monies.
Yes.
Okay, if you get federal dollars, that could be your dollars, their dollars, my dollars, everybody's dollars. But what a lot of these institutions do, they'll have, they have a free night. They will have an exhibition, or they will have an event.
Yes.
But that's not the permanent collection. So when people 50 years from now go back and do research, and they will say, where are all the black people at? We wanted them to know that we're in plain sight. Just go and look in the permanent collection. That's our
Yes.
goal, okay?
Okay.
That's what we want to do. So hold your institutions accountable. The next time you go to one of these institutions, go speak with the director. Make an appointment. Go ask Matthew Teitelbaum. Say, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to know Matthew Teitelbaum is the director of the MFA. So I know all of these people. And they also know me. And they know a lot of my students as well. So wherever you go, just ask. And when it becomes just like we're sitting here today, we want people to be able to go into the museums and see people that look like us, like we see today. And not have it be something, a special day. Every day is a special day.
That's true.
As long as you're
Yeah.
breathing, it's a special day. And that's what we want.
Yeah, we want to continue to celebrate the legacy of the people.
Yes, it's a gift. Life is a
It
gift,
is.
Yes, it is.
you know?
So we want to continue to celebrate and continue that celebration.
Yes, it's important. It's imperative that we do this.
Yeah, the evolution of our next generation.
There it is.
Yes.
The evolution of the next generation.
I think one of the things that I would really like to see, which you brought to mind, Elaine, is about the filming. I would like for every photographer to stand next to their image and have a classic photograph taken. I mean, not a document, but I want something like
You want-
Langston Hughes.
Ah,
okay. I
okay.
want something like Miles Davis.
Okay.
I want something like Pearl Bailey. I wore my pearls today.
wow,
I want you
Archie.
to see.
How fun.
Beautiful pearls.
Those are all beautiful pearls.
My wife gave me these, you know.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
And
they're
I have
beautiful.
my pearl earring
Ooh,
from my mother-in-law.
I wore my peace ones today.
I know, I love your piece
Keeping
ones.
the peace in the community.
I love your piece ones.
And so, you know, everybody has somebody that's pulling for them, whether
Oh,
they know it or
absolutely.
not, you know, and sometimes they don't even know it. And I get up every day thinking about how I can be helpful to someone.
Someone else.
You know,
That's
whether
right.
it's a person asking for change on the street, whether it's a person who drops something in the grocery store, you pick it up, you help them. As I
That's
say,
true.
you know, if everybody does a little, a lot will get done.
Done.
You know, and that's
All together now.
exactly, exactly. Oh,
I think Archie has given us a sermon for the day.
no.
'Cause
I just
no, but it's touchable. You know, it's touchable. And for me to have both of you here to talk about this project and where you want to go with it and how you want to see it expand to all the art institutions, libraries, even restaurants. I mean, we have
Yes,
amazing
yes,
restaurants in
yes,
our community.
yes, yes.
We
yes.
need to have that work
Visible.
Yeah.
visible
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. And I'm talking about having it framed professionally
Yes.
and done really well.
Really well.
Jules is already, Jules says, I saw Jules Wednesday. I photographed him photographing his grandmother in front of his piece. He has a piece I call The Real Batman, where he's standing on top of one of the high-rise. Oh, it scares, it's frightening to see him up there like that.
Oh, my.
So I've started collecting funds for the framing, and it's, as I say, it's 23. They're pretty large, but we can do it. We'll ask Greater Grove Wall Street, the Black Wall Street. That's what
Yeah,
we
oh,
want.
I like that.
Oh, yes.
We also actually should be, and I'm going to see about how to do this, is the Nubian Square Main Streets. That used to be Dudley Square Main Streets. It is now Nubian Square Main Streets. I've met their director a couple of times. The old director I knew for over 20 years, but she finally stepped down after almost 30. But the new one, and now they've changed the name because we are now Nubian Square.
Yes.
That's another place we should contact about helping us to get funding for this project.
Yeah, let's put the word out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Yes.
a lot of people will support us.
It's called Call to Action.
Okay, all right.
You know, it's called Call to Action.
Well, I'm glad that they changed the names, because we know
Who
the
Dudley
history
was.
and
Yes,
all of that.
we know who Dudley was.
And we can be angry of the past, but we have to work together towards the future to really bring about positive change for all of our citizens. And it's so easy to spread hate. It's just so easy, and it's like, and it could be just as easy to spread love and joy, just working together, and just push that negative stuff aside. It's like we have to work together. And that's what this project has really taught me, because most of my photography has been just me solo going out and doing my own work, knowing a lot of photographers. But I think this really, it just brought so many different ages together, so many different passions together.
I think that's beautiful.
You know, and I just wish more people had have gotten on board with us, but I think 9 is a good number.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
There you go, because this is a live show.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey.
yes.
This show will be seen again on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And I will be giving you the information on today's show. You can get it to the other artists, you know, and maybe we can bring in more folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to all the artists,
people that you
all the
weren't.
photographers.
Yes.
Yes.
Photographers that weren't on that list
Yes.
that you've contacted.
Yeah.
Right,
You know?
right. I have a list of black and brown photographers, and it's growing, and the way it should. And to me, it's even if it's with your cell phone that you make images, or if it's with an antique camera, if you make images, if you make any kind of photographic images, we want you on our list. You know, I think it's really.
I guess it means you'll have to see my images.
Yes.
I would love to view those.
Yes.
I'm forever taking images on my phone. All
And
the time.
sometimes
Yes.
the phone is the best thing to have at the moment.
At the
to
moment.
Be in the moment. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
you gotta be in the moment.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing the right thing. You know,
Yes.
I love to see
Yes.
them.
You know?
I mean, you know, just getting some images of Arnie Cheatham's.
His birds.
His birds.
Oh my
those
gosh,
birds. I
his
mean,
birds.
Arnie. I mean, it is like
It's like
National
huh?
Geographic.
Thank
is
you.
National
Okay.
Geographic.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's like some of the finest.
Yeah.
And Arnie is also an excellent chef. He's also an excellent saxophonist
Yes, he
as
is.
well. You know?
Yes, he
and,
is.
still hanging tough at the piano factory. Oh my God.
I'm
Cheatham.
so glad.
Arnie Cheatham.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's one of he's one of those people. He and I are very close. I've known him since I was a teenager. Him and his wife, since I was a teenager, and I've been trying to. You know, I know he's not been well lately,
Right.
but I've been trying to get an interview with him. I know coming out is a little difficult,
Right.
but
Right.
I know where they live.
Right. Yeah. Him and Dottie. Oh, yes.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Well, you know, his wife and my name, we're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Her name is Dorothea.
Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Dorothea.
Yes, yes.
Elaine is my middle name, so we use it. But she'll tell you in a minute when she sees me, that's my niece and she's my kindred spirit, Dorothea.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
yes,
Yes.
I've known them for years.
Wow.
But I would so much like to be able to get in a interview with him, and I think it would have to be an interview at the house because I
Right, right.
don't think he comes out much anymore.
That'd be a
Right,
special one.
Right.
You
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah, right,
absolutely.
Right.
Definitely.
You know, so talking about photographers, as a matter of fact, he did a class on photography.
Wow. Yeah.
I went to the class. He did 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
I went to both classes. I still got my handouts. Yes, I do. I have my handouts.
Wow.
And he had told me, if you're really interested in photography, I'm going to have to take, one class he told me to bring my camera. He looked at my camera and he says, you need a new camera. He says, when you're ready to get a new camera, get with me and I will take you to get a new camera.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
okay.
Wow.
Right.
Arnie he's a, you know,
He's a
one
gem.
of the greats, one of the greats.
Yes,
and,
he is.
And see, this what brings me back again. He should be in those museums collections.
Yes, he should.
He should be there.
Permanently.
Permanently. He should be
Yes.
there. The Peabody
right.
Essex Museum. In fact, I have a meeting set up, I think it's around the 13th of April. I'm meeting with the director and one of the curatorial staff there, and they have some works, but when it comes to photography, they are a little light.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can bring about some changes there and working with them and introducing them to different people, because I find now that I'm no longer teaching, I'm able to do all of these things plus my artwork as well, you know.
Okay.
And that I feel extremely blessed
Blessed and grateful.
to be able
I hear you.
to do this.
Yeah.
And you must do it every day.
Oh,
We must
yes.
do something
Every
to help
day.
others.
Every day.
You know,
Every
every
day.
day.
I'm learning that.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things that I really enjoy
What?
is when JayPix and I sort of, the first greeting or something, we always say whatever the day is, like Happy Friday.
Yes, and I hear that
We are
a lot.
happy people.
I
We
hear
love
that
the
a lot
spirit
on
of
Facebook.
people.
But-
Happy Friday.
Yes,
and
but
happy, yup.
but
But-
it's like good morning. I usually start mine off with ciao to whomever I'm writing and all.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to and I end mine with joy. It's always joy in all caps.
Okay.
Joy.
That's
there you go.
right.
Well, you know, we've been having a great conversation, and we're
Indeed.
not done. We have a little bit of time left, but we're going to take a very short break.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to take a little short break.
Okay.
We can
Great.
do one of those.
Great.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Hold on, not yet.
Oh,
It's okay.
You'll let us know, of
Yes,
course.
I will definitely let
that's
you know.
great.
And to my audience, we are going to go to a break,
Thank you for watching.
and we
Really
will
appreciate
return.
Yeah.
Is everybody in the groove? Well, stick around. We're just warming up, baby.
Welcome back to Artists of Color, and I am Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host. And my guests have been Archy LaSalle and JayPix. And we're back. And we've been talking about where all the black people are at, I should say, art at. But anyway, we're back. And this conversation has gone above and beyond, because we've talked about art, we've talked about photography, where it should be, how we're bringing community together. We've even gotten to the point about filming artists as they're filming the artists, the photographers, as they're doing their photography and putting together a nice live film for them. And I think that is a great idea, and we're going to talk more about that.
Yeah.
But we're also going to talk about, we don't have a lot of time left, but the time we have, I want to talk more about you, both of you, as photographers. Where did you begin your photography? In other words, when did you start?
I'd like to start. I guess photography found me in an interesting way, but I've always been an artist, and I've always collected images. My grandmother was a huge Polaroid, Kodak person, always with the disposable cameras at every event. But I would say after high school, I got my first Vivitar camera. I bought it, and it was an exploration. I had minored in it in college.
Oh, okay.
And it was a way for me to communicate. I had put a picture on my dorm wall. You know, things weren't going very well, first and second year of college. And, you know, people started to notice me and consider the skill in a multiple exposure through the tiny peephole I did. And it was a black and white. I developed it. And so photography showed me that, you know, I could say something without saying nothing. And I was happy with that. And I could do that for other people too. And so that's why I began to photograph my friends and musicians, because they're like storytellers as well.
Yes,
and
they are.
sometimes they don't get the chance to really show themselves in a transparent light, or, you know, you can only hear it in the music, but sometimes you want to see the visual soul. And so some of these hip hop images, for sure, you can hear them, you can feel the music. And
Right.
I think the essence of them is sparked. And so that's kind of like my beginning journey with photography and working with people.
Okay.
Because I love to work with people, and as I continue to work with people, preserve the legacy and celebrate the assets of our community that we live in. With PixWorks. PixWorks is kind of the archives that I have in building relationships with companies and brands, but also helping them brand themselves and become more confident in their purpose and career path. So that is something I look forward to doing, continuing.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Archy.
You know, while JayPix was talking, all of the time while you were talking, a person ran through my mind, and that's Gordon Parks.
Oh, yes.
And I bring up Gordon Parks. Most people talk about Gordon Parks' civil rights work. And very important work, but that's not the beginning
No.
of
with the streets.
civil rights. Civil rights started for black people in 1619 That's when it started, and it continues today. But I want to talk about Gordon Parks' fashion photography, the stuff that Gordon Parks did in the street. When I look at your work, and I don't want you to get too excited, but you should be excited.
I love Gordon Parks. I admire Gordon Parks.
Gordon
Him in the
Parks.
streets, that's how I feel when I'm approaching someone.
All right, so you
hey,
got
look
it.
at you.
Yes.
Right?
So I want you to feel that. Feel that. When I said I didn't want you to get too excited, I want you to get extremely excited, because when I look at the piece that's on Washington Street, yours, at the bus shelter, I mean, I feel that. I remember the first time I went to your studio and I'm looking at your work. A lot of it is like just raw. I like the gold, all of that. That work is, for me, is like Gordon Parks reincarnated in a way.
Wow.
And like,
You
just
see
the
that,
way,
Archie?
I'm telling it, JayPix, your work is really amazing. It really is, and just the way you have so many images. You could have done all 23 bus shelters. You could have.
But
And
there
you're-
wouldn't be us, you know?
It wouldn't be
It's
us.
coming,
It wouldn't be
there's
us.
a time coming. But
Yes.
Archie, I wouldn't be where I am without the influences of you, and Lolita Parker, and Hakeem Raquib, and people that I really look up to, and Dawn West, and Lou Jones, you know, who I admire, who are still striving and putting their work up and traveling.
Yes.
I want to travel. And so I admire that, and in the mentorship when asking about how to navigate the world of photography, I think it's important to talk to people like you about the work and what our end goal is, and where do we want to see ourselves, right? As photographers, what do we want to create? What do we want to do? And so these conversations are important, and I'm glad you came by the studio. I was able to give you my hip hop book, right? And so I loved. I've never, you know, that book it kind of came out, but it hasn't surfaced. But only a few people have a copy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful images.
Oh,
Beautiful
well,
images.
then I'm going to be the second person to get a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes out again, you know, UMass Boston has it in their collection now.
Okay. There you go. Well, I just love, I mean, regardless of the age of the photographers that I come in contact with, I just love looking at the images. And your images is just like, I mean, 10 years, 5 years from now, 50 years from now, whenever, you look back at that work and it's like, it's going to be even,
Better.
I mean, it's just going to grow on you. Every time I look at Gordon
We,
Parks' fashion work,
We are going to have to wrap it up.
okay.
I hate to cut him off, but we got to wrap it up.
Thank you, Elaine.
It
Thank you,
was
Archie.
so good.
Thank
We're going to
you.
do this again
Thank you,
because there's a
Elaine.
lot
Thank you.
going on in this session and in this interview and what's going on with the work that both of you are doing. So, Archy LaSalle, I thank you very much for being with me this afternoon.
It's a pleasure and an honor.
And JayPix, thank you. Oh, young lady, thank you, thank you, thank you, sister. You will be with us. And I want to thank my audience who watched this show today. And I hope you'll try and get to see the exhibit down at 153 Blue Hill Avenue before the second comes up. Okay? It's been a great afternoon at Artists of Color. And I am Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host. Have a great day.